Greetings, Dapplings, and welcome back to Humankind and to the map of the known world, where we as the Egyptians are already embroiled in, well, not so much a bitter war, but it's definitely a tense war with our closest neighbour, whilst our more distant neighbour we're actually starting to improve relations with. But this war is, well, it's not exactly where I wanted to be this early on. Nevertheless, I kind of feel it's necessary, specifically as the Hittites are one of the, if not, no, they are the current leader in fame by a very large margin, almost twice as much fame as their nearest rival. Now, they've been able to upgrade to the next era for a little while. We are the closest, we're the second closest to being able to upgrade into the next era. The war is actually going relatively well for us. They're currently weaker than us. Their war support is much lower than us, though we're not particularly strong in terms of our overall military strength, but we have been winning the war in terms of the battles, but it is taking a toll. Pyrrhic victory after Pyrrhic victory after Pyrrhic victory is quite the concern. We've currently got some more archers on the way out. However, I'm getting a little bit concerned about how close they are to being able to accept their next era shift. How close is Shen currently? Shen is a little ways away, 2 stars away, and so is second place, whoever they might be. But let's have a quick look at show cultures out of the cultures available to us. Oh. Okay, so the Hittites are about to shift culture. This has already been locked in. You may have noticed that when you lock in a culture, it doesn't trigger until the next turn. The Hittites have already selected who they're going to be going for, and they're going to be going for the Huns. That is, well, it's another war-focused culture. Specifically, this is going to be a bit of a nasty one because they're going to have the Hunnic Horde. Now, the Hunnic Horde are unique in that, well, they're a horseback archer, but much like the tribe from the Neolithic, the Hunnic Horde can simply increase their number by gaining food, either by ransacking or winning battles. So you really can't afford to let them ever win a fight, because if they do, they multiply. They don't have to pay for this, though I believe they have to pay the upkeep as the horde grows over time, but they don't have to pay a population point for that, and that is scary. Alright, well, I already have a fairly strong idea of who we're going to be going with, and that would be, where are you, my lovelies? The Celts. Now, Celts specifically because as we've now more or less settled on the idea of a tall rather than a wide empire, I feel that getting more food out of our farms is going to be a big help. Eventually, this will pay for itself in time. It won't pay for itself straight away, but in time, this will be huge. And the emblematic building is actually quite nice. Also gives faith, which will be very good for our religion. But above all, we basically have the woad. We have naked warriors covered in spirals, and possibly also having drunk some of that dye in a berserker trance, just hurling themselves down rocky hillsides at quite alarmed enemies who, on one part, it's like, well, they're naked. They've just got an axe and murder in their eyes. It's fine. We've got armor. But what if they know something we don't? Because we certainly wouldn't be throwing ourselves naked down a cliff at someone. Why do they feel so emboldened by this? There is some shenanigans afoot here. It's quite demoralizing seeing naked people just, launching themselves at you with no regard for their own personal safety. And that is reflected in the unique ability. Further, no combat strength penalty from damage. That is a big one. It means that what we've got going on right now with our armies in various states of disrepair, that wouldn't be a problem for us. So I'm actually really hopeful that we'll be able to go for that. Now, how would we get there? Currently, we're not going to be able to get it with the builder style. That's a shame, because I really would like to get the extra fame. It seems to be a little bit bugged in that it's not telling me what fame we would get, but I'm sure we would get it. Now, we only need 50 gold. We will get that next turn. Very well. Okay, now there's a couple of other things that we're going to want to do as well. you may have noticed that the game runs on simultaneous turns. I don't really want this group to be pulled into a fight necessarily. So I'm thinking I'm going to retreat my units up here. Now, we're going to have to make that move early, and this is one of the quirks of the game, and something I actually really feel is probably the biggest part of the game that takes some getting used to, is the idea that, much as in real life, initiative is important. Plan your moves before you hit the end turn button, and then execute them as quickly as you can so that someone can't change your plans, because if you aren't the one choosing when you move, then someone else might be the one choosing when you move, or rather when you end up fighting. So we're going to move out of the way here, and hopefully, if we can, we're going to go with the Celts. Let's have a look at this. Right, first and foremost, let's move you back. Oh, that was a bit of a pain in the bum. Can we move you back? No, too late. We weren't able to do it. Okay. See, that is one of the problems. I'm going to turn off map focus. It's very nice to have map focus, but I can always check map focus out later on. That era star blocked me from being able to move quickly. I would have liked to have been able to protect this tower, because now I absolutely need to have this fight. That is unfortunate. And because they had already moved into position, I believe that we're attacking them. I think they moved in to sack this town. I can't be absolutely certain, but I believe we are the aggressors. Hopefully. If we're not, then we're the defenders, and it gives them a little bit of an advantage. Either way, we've got an era star unlocked, which is actually quite nice. We've also got a population in Arneb over here. And finally, World Deed unlocked. A wonderful Great Barrier Reef has been discovered. Well, that's actually quite lovely. I'm not sure where that will be, but I'm sure we'll get around there eventually to finding it. Now, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take the era, because by taking this right now, we lock it in. So let's go ahead and have a choose. We've got the Huns, and just so you can see what's available, we've got the Romans, the Achaemenid Persians, Maya, I have no idea how to pronounce this, Mauryaans, the Goths, the Celts, obviously, Carthaginians, Greeks, Axumites, and you could stay as Egyptians. Again, I've had quite a few comments where people have expressed disappointment that you can't just stay as one civilization all the way through. You absolutely can. And as with many things in the game, bonuses stack. Each time you choose to transcend, that is to say, you move to the next era without choosing a new culture, you get a big bonus, and this bonus grows very, very large over time. It isn't just 10% extra each time, it multiplies as you go. As a consequence, you could, if you got to the end game, the tiniest thing you do would result in enormous amounts of fame, but you would also miss out on all of the cumulative legacy bonuses and emblematic units and emblematic buildings. So yeah, there is a bit of give and take there, but we're going to go ahead and take the Celts. We want to advance into the next era and start accruing lots of populations so that we can sustain bigger wars, and also just to grow our people. Also, I may be slightly biased towards the Celts, okay? For no particular reason. Shifty eyes. Right, now with that done, urgent affairs require your attention. Blades of the Empire. As your horizons widen, your armies grow in lockstep with your ambitions. Now with military power spread over several regiments, it's time to decide the nature of the soldiers who comprise your armies. Very well. Army composition. Who should fight for the Empire? Conscripted warriors would save us the cost of raising soldiers from the crib, minus 30 on industry costs. That's actually not the problem, though. I'm able to make units more or less one a turn. My issue is population. Or professional soldiers, forged from the youngest age. Professional warriors will give us strong armies, +1 combat strength. This would mean I'd have to replace them less often. So I am very much in favour of this. It won't change our stability at all, but I think it will be well worth us going for. So let's go ahead and choose professional soldiers.
It does seem logical that people shouldn't have to do a job unless they want to.
Not actually the way I was imagining that one would go down. I'm not going to lie to you. I was kind of more envisioning The whole, we just take the young sons and daughters of our people once they've come of age out into the woods, give them a knife and leave them there. If they manage to make their way back to the city, hooray! Hail them as a returning warrior. If we have to go out and rescue them, look, I'm under no illusion, some of them would be unrescuable by the time we got there. But, you know, I imagine quite a lot of them would just be lost, hiding out in a cave or up a tree or so on and so forth. Well, you know, they come back, not quite to the hero's welcome and entry into the warrior halls, but they'll have probably a very safe and profitable life as a craftsperson or a merchant. They might not be remembered in song, well, unless they're a particularly successful merchant, in which case, you know, money opens all sorts of doors, but nevertheless. But accidental good deed, I suppose? Sure, yeah, we'll go with the angle of, yeah, no, you don't have to be a warrior if you don't want to be. You want to be a mime artist? Sure, fine, that's okay. You do you, boo. Right, time for us to deal with this little fight here. Now, of course, we're going to be playing out through this. Now, yeah, we are actually the attackers. Ironically, this being our tile, we just need to hold this tile from them. I don't believe it's going to be a whole lot of anything really here for them to be able to fight us with. Still, I would like to get around on that side, because if I can have a flanking bonus, it's so good. It's like +4. Right now, they're getting a bonus from defending. And I'm disinclined to march up into the waters, because we get a -3. The bonus for attacking from the flank is +4, and so we'd only really be getting a +1. Granted, it would bring us a little bit closer. It wouldn't really do all of that much, though. We stand to come off far worse for wear for this, so we're actually going to defend here and defend there and let them take the first move. Drat. That may have been a mistake then. Oh well, we can definitely flank them here, though. So let's go ahead and position ourselves such that they can't easily deal with this. Let's go ahead and begin the fight. There's much ado about nothing. Still, they are defending, and now they can simply defend, so we do need to press the advantage at this point. Now, hopefully, we'll get a flank bonus. No, it does have to be directly opposite. I had hoped that it might not be the case, but it doesn't seem to be as good for us, unfortunately. Okay, that was a bit nasty, I'm not going to lie. Fair enough. Right, at this point, let's get ourselves up here. Now, this is going to hurt, but +4 from a rear attack. +4 from a rear attack. Now that we're basically flanking them, any attack from any direction is now considered a rear attack, which is going to give us a significant strength advantage. And there we go. If we get a particularly good round here, we might actually finish the fight. And we did. There we go. Not bad at all. Another victory to our name. The war, I mean, it certainly isn't going amazingly, but it could be going a lot worse too. At this stage, I really want to dissuade our enemies from getting in here if we can. Right. Now, for the time being, we can still try and build Egyptian pyramids. Now, this is something worth noting. Once you leave the era that you're in, any emblematic buildings cannot be built any longer. But emblematic units can be, until you have researched whatever unit would have naturally replaced that in the progression of technology. So, for example, I'm just plucking an idea from my mind. If you had an emblematic unit, which was a basic archer, if you later gained the ability to build longbowmen, then you'd probably lose access to your emblematic unit. But you wouldn't lose access until you research longbowmen. So, you know, you could be several eras down the line and still be able to make your emblematic archer. But in our case, the pyramids, once we're no longer Egyptians, we can't build these. So, this is actually something that we're going to push into the queue. And we're going to push it into the queue in such a way that we're going to get at least a little bit of work done on it before we change era, before the end of the turn happens. As long as you have put any amount of effort into building something, it's locked in place and can't be taken out of the queue unless you delete it. If you delete it, you can't put it back in. But as long as it's there, You could just shuffle it to the end of the queue over and over and over, but as long as you've put some effort into it, that building can still be built even outside of the era. It just can only be put into the queue in the correct era. I don't know if it hasn't had any effort put into it at all, whether it will stay in the queue. I don't believe it does. I think you've actually have to have started work on it for it to exist. But we'll pop that in and see if this can work out for us. Hopefully it does, but you never know sometimes. Right, let's get ourselves down here. And likewise, I would kind of like to be over here where we can perhaps deal with this group. If we can get a couple more easy victories won, because they're splitting up their armies into such, they're basically drip feeding their armies to us. Mind you, this one's going to be a bit of a rough one. But if this keeps up, then we'll win the war purely based on war support. We'll just keep pulling their war support down just by victory after victory after victory, but never actually having taken a city. Now, not having cities will affect what you can, terms you can use to sue for peace, but still. Right, now, again, as I was mentioning, initiative matters. So my plan is to move you out of here, and do I really want to move you down? Not necessarily. I think I'd actually be okay with you being back and for us to have a bit more of a bit more control over when the fight starts, if a fight happens around here. This seems to be a hotbed of contention here. Right, end the turn. Oh.
As urban centers grow,
oh dear.
Both ideas and sewage are generated at a record pace. Arts and sciences flourish as military tactics and mathematical equations become as coveted as physical goods. Empires struggle to control these intangibles, however, as some might trouble their stability.
Very well.
Now you're choosing the agrarian.
I still can't move them.
Let's hope they learn their cooking from the French side.
Wow. Subtle, not so subtle jab there. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I really love the way that the buildings update over time as things move around. Ah, damn it. Yeah, we didn't have an opportunity to move our units out of the way. But it looks like this group have actually attacked our unit there. I don't believe we can move these now. They're basically locked in position, which is actually incredibly frustrating, but very well. We can't move in. Cannot be done as the action is locked. You need to research the technology organized warfare available during the ancient era, which happens to be where we're at. Let's have a quick look. Organized warfare. Mounted warfare. There. Oh, sorry. No, we're 2 stages beyond this. We absolutely need to get that as something of a priority. Once we're done with the wheel, we're going to be going with organized warfare, just so that I can have more units in battles. That way I can just take multiple stacks to a place. They don't all need to be in the same army for it to work out. Harapans now feel differently about you. Very well. They're quite pleasant, actually. Stable. Stronger. We depend on access to their resources. They depend on access to ours. Well, I mean, that is the way it goes. The Mercury you have, I wouldn't mind having some extra percentage of production, but let's deal with the fights first before we start worrying about statecraft. Now, I'm almost tempted to go instant resolution here, but I think I'll have a better time of things if we just get into the fight proper. Let's swap you guys around, though. Have you down here? I think actually, we'll protect our the cavalry here. I think would probably be wise. Okay, you've got veterancy. Disapprove of that quite strongly. Let's move down. I could have my cavalry move into position here. At that point, we could have 2 separate armies with an ability to surround the enemy. I would be all about this. Sure, okay. Alright, first and foremost, let's get into this fight. +4 from rear attack, +2 from friendly units, +1 from veterancy, -1 from damage, but still that's 20 versus 15. There we go. Very, very nice result. Very nice result indeed. Can you move at all? No, you can't move any further. Down here, that would be a little bit of a rough fight. Let's pull down your health nice and hard there, and then we'll use our cavalry to finish the job. Now, there's a chance we'll lose 25 health here, which is frankly terrifying. There we go. How much health did we lose on that unit? Not too much, which is good to see. Right, like, you can draw back for a moment. I would like you to draw back a little bit more as well. Let's get our archers down here. We could press on with this army. We would probably win against you. It's a warrior versus our archer and scout. We would need to properly protect our positioning there, realistically, to win that fight. Alternatively, I could have them merge, and that would become a reasonably dangerous army at that point. I am inclined to do so. Let's concentrate our combat strength where we're able. What I really want are some warriors. Okay, well, that one is done. Let's have a look at population loss. It's going to flip-flop for a little while, sadly. Manu, population gain. Marfak, population gain as well. And we have dropped the Huns' war support by a further 8. If we have a quick look, we're at 38. So they're going to be 30 in the next... Really? That is just so rude, Fit. They're going to be at 30 in the next turn. But we can definitely continue to double down on that. Now we have... No, we weren't able to get it built in time. Sadly, it didn't already have any production on it at the end of the turn. That is a shame. That is quite the shame. Alright, well, with that done, let's go ahead and get some warriors. Now, the nice thing about warriors is they will upgrade into the units that we want. I'll go ahead and... Do we have enough to finish one of you? Yes, we do. Well, in that case, I'll finish you and allow the lumberyard to finish its job as well. And that warrior can march on down and bolster some of our defenses down here. Alright. Armies need a rest. You can go ahead and heal, as can you. We've got another 16 turns on your employment. Arnab's gained a bit of a population. Okay, we're seeing how many. Are you going to merge? No. Very interesting, because unless... Oh, wait. Okay, you definitely merged with something. Right, well, that's worrisome. Quite worrisome. That is a big problem now. Alright. Well, you are healing. I'm inclined to have... Well, you can't do anything in that regard. We'll have you move across. 2 archers, a cavalryman, and some scouts. I could move in and hold this position. It might be worth our time to do so. We want to attack with full stacks wherever possible. We've also got some sort of diplomatic...
I have a proposal for you.
Well?
A good idea from a good friend? Let me hear it.
Very well. I don't see this as a negative. Ooh, apparently we've got access to iron, really? Oh, we do. Excellent. We'll have to develop that as quickly as we can. But sure. Okay, I'm in favor of deepening the bond of friendship between us and Shen's people. Okay.
This is pleasing. I am content to join together on this.
Okay.
Pleasing news. Yes.
Yes, at the end. Alright, let's have a look. You've got horses and copper. I mean, I don't have copper available to me just yet, but we will get there. Alright, let's have you march down as quickly as you can to join the main force. There we are. What else are we doing over here? How much production have we got? 98 per turn. That's not bad at all, actually. I wouldn't mind increasing that a little further. Is there much reason to do that here? This is forest. I don't believe we got any really stony cliffs around it. Well, Stonefield there. Is this a stone field? That's a stone field as well, and this would give us +1 on stone field, rocky, or mountain. It's a maybe. It's certainly a maybe. But in the meanwhile, the first thing we're going to do is, I think, try and push this up, get some extra money flowing into the coffers so that we can afford to recruit units that much faster. There we go. Once that's done, I would like, with our 1 population, probably another archer as well. Okay, let's have a look at this. The wages of war. The ongoing war is draining experience for the Empire. Your many armies fighting across the land, costing your capital resources and, of course, blood. The question of funding these endeavours should be addressed. Paid wages. A decent, respectable soldiery must be founded on a dependable wage or plundered wages. Soldiers are kept alert by earning their keep. This would give us some very nice stability. On occupied cities, that isn't as big of a concern early on for us, and honestly, even into the late game, I've not really found that much of a concern. But garrisons for stability, having a single, or having any units, any military units garrisoned on the main plaza, or in any of your fort buildings, fort districts, actually adds some extra stability. That would make it even more so. Or we get more money from ransacking and more combat strength while ransacking. And the combat strength you have while ransacking dictates how quickly you can perform the ransack. Additionally, this would remove some stability on our cities, but give us so much more food. And considering that this is one of the ways that we now generate era stars, that seems like a bit of a no-brainer. We're going to go with plundered wages.
It's not
Keep what you kill.
It's an early form of performance-based incentive payments.
All that. Yeah, sure. You can be gone. Okay. Now, it's going to take us a little while to get any research complete, and that's sad, but it is the way of things. At this point, I could force a fight. What have you got down here? Warriors and Gigir. War chariots provide an invaluable advantage to the Hittites, but the disciplined organization of the army only let the nobles fight on them. Heavy cavalry, suppression, as a hard-hitting unit to be certain. Our archers, however, with this choke point, they'd probably rush up and around. Certainly wouldn't be an easy fight for us. Would you be able to get over there? 3 warriors against 1 chariot. I don't fancy your chances, I'm going to be honest with that. How about over there? We could go against a single warrior, perhaps. But still, they've got a flat 7 strength advantage over you. Okay, actually, it's less because of the various bonuses we've got. There would be a 5 strength advantage, but still. You're equal now to their warriors, which is actually quite nice, so... Although you've got a little bit of health issues there, I think we might be able to make that happen. The chariot here with 26, that's quite the bonus. I would much prefer to have a much bigger numbers advantage there. But let's go ahead and try to keep their numbers from merging. Okay, let's get into this battle. We, of course, want to be down there. They are probably more than willing to just wait this out. And deployment is a decent enough position. I think we're going to move down. This gives us a slight combat advantage. It's pretty much the case on either side at this point. Okay, let's open up with our least wounded unit. Okay, we came out on top of that engagement. And how about you? And once again, came out on top. Using the flanking advantage, though that was a bit nasty there. They are wounded now, so their strength is starting to drop. There we go. And we should be able to finish him off with this one. Oof. They managed to do quite a lot of damage before we were able to take him down. I dislike it. Okay. As for you... We could move in. A little bit worried about taking on a heavy cav. Even though we have got the numbers advantage, I feel that they're going to be much, much more dangerous. Still, if we can prevent them from causing any serious issues for us... Likewise, I could attack here. But I feel that we may actually stand a better chance using the numbers advantage. Yeah. Let's get in there. Of course, they have a larger numbers advantage, but I want them to remain at top fighting form for them, because I'm fairly certain they're going to attack us. Alright, let's get in there. Now, I would like you here. And you there. We will quickly move to surround. Oh! Okay. That is a thing you can do, yes. Damn it. I should have considered that. Alright. I guess we're marching up then. We're going to have a significant numbers penalty here for this first round. We're just going to have to defend and hope for the best. They're going to have pinned this unit in place through suppression. I'm not sure we're going to win this one. It's a bit of a gamble. It is a bit of a gamble. Right, you can't move, but you can attack. Can I get around there? Can you not move there at all? Oh, you've actually managed to lock us in position. Well, that is actually kind of awful. Because the projected losses for us are staggering here. We might be lucky, we might be able to roll some high rolls, but absolutely brutal losses. Okay, they're down to 25. We wouldn't even be able to kill here, but we'd almost certainly die. So you go ahead and defend. Right, we lost a unit. They probably lost a little bit of health. Enough that we might be able to finish them off. No, we're gonna lose someone, no matter what. Okay, we lost 2 scouts in that fight, but we did win the battle overall. And again, the war is going to be won by battles won. I mean, to be fair, losing, just hemorrhaging units, not a good move, but they're down to 30. They're going to be down to 14 on the next turn. At that point, 2-1 battles would allow us to force their surrender. So we're kind of pushing for that now. It is a potentially rather dangerous move. I'm not going to lie. This warrior I worry about. Quite a lot, actually. I think we're, on the next turn, going to move back immediately. Move you back, and indeed try and move you away as well. So that we can pick the fight. But if you merge, that is going to cause us some issues. 3 warriors and the Gigir. Not a fight I really want to have. Nevertheless, let's move you back. Move you back as well. No, can I not? Ah, drat. They've already pulled us into a fight, so we can't actually move out of this tile now. Nor can anyone else move into it. So this is actually an opportunity for us to have a look at what else was going on. You're trying to get in there. That's a bit of a shame that you're not going to be able to make it, but oh well. Let's have this warrior move down. I suppose I could have that warrior just merge. Sure. Let's get that warrior merging. As for you, we're not going to finish that anytime soon. But what I am going to do is the next thing we build, I think, has to be the Nematon. A sacred grove, benefiting all, but open only to the druids who conduct ritual ceremonies between the trees. The +3 faith will be amazing. The drop in stability, less so, but still be a very, very good tile to place. Let's see. That's +19 there, because it opens up all of the available grounds around for exploitation. Sure. Okay, let's get that one down. That will be a big, big help for us. This will start growing much more aggressively. Alright then, all that remains now is to have the fight. I really don't want my archers just out and about. Let's have you over there. End deployment. They're immediately engaging. That's going to frozen my warriors on that tile. Not amazing, but my archers are going to be able to pelt them from afar. Their warriors are going to have to run around to engage. Wow, they were able to move really far. My lord. That's scary. That's very scary, actually. Okay. 7 to 25. We could hit you for 5 to 25. Whoever we attack, we need to focus our fire on. I think this unit is the more frightening of them. No line of sight is -4 there. Still, let's go for it. Can we attack? Ooh, that's a horrible penalty to our strength. I fear we've bitten off more than we can chew here. Honestly, we were trying to move, and they pulled us into the fight a little bit too fast for us. So, there's very little we can do about it. This is just the way of things at this point. Now, we are going to lose our archers pretty much wholesale. Still, we can cost them a powerful unit. There we are. And let's take you out. Now, as for you, there's not a lot you can do. I'm gonna be honest. But what you can do is you can be a distraction. Not a warrior, scout, sorry. They may choose to attack you, which will give this archer an opportunity to attack someone else. Okay, no, not too bad. What I would love is if you could move up. I might be able to do the same with you. And then attack from the rear. Let's try it. This might allow us to have... No, it doesn't give us rear attack. That's a shame. Do you get rear attack? You do get a rear attack bonus. Okay, you're going to be sacrificing yourself. A noble end. You didn't do as much damage as I'd hope, I'm going to be honest with you. But if we can get a high roll here, then this fight may still go our way. Okay, medium roll. Unfortunately, they were holding our defenses, and I completely zoned out about that. That loss was painful because it didn't need to happen. We could have won that fight. I just completely. I was way too focused on the fact that I got pulled into a fight that I didn't want to be in, and that was the consequence of that. Lesson learned, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. But that will have added a little bit extra to their war support. It would have been great to have pulled it down more, but oh well. So far, the fights are generally still going in our favour. As for you, we could now move in and probably finish this off. So let's do that. Manual battle. Let's swap positions and deployment. They do not want any of it. They're going to get it all, however. So this is basically a stalemate. We've not actually made any progress here. We've exchanged one battle for another. We lost some pretty hefty units, though. We kept an archer. They lost their 2 warriors and a chariot. We lost a cav, a scout, and an archer. Overall, I would say they came out on top. But still, that will have reset the status quo there. Okay. We need you to be down here very quickly. And you as well. Let's try and get everyone into the same tile if possible to avoid being drawn into a nasty fight. Now, this is the other thing you can do. And actually, I'll be honest, I only just realized it. There have been a few times that I've decried and been frustrated with the fact that armies, unlike many games where the scheduled movement, in Humankind, the scheduled movement happens at the beginning of the turn. But that may well be how you're meant to play with regards to the whole initiative scenario. You're meant to queue up the move and commit to it ahead of times. You know, best laid plans, etc., etc. I'll have to bear that in mind. All right, well, let's go. Move. Get into position. And that was nice and easy. All of our armies merging up. There we go. I don't recommend that you tangle with me there, as it happens. This group should be able to take this one out. It's a scout and a warrior. I would certainly hope they'll be able to take them out. Let's get down there. Let's move you back somewhere where the archers can... Well, the archers still won't be able to join up, to be fair. Okay, well, you just keep moving out of there then. I'll have these archers move down. They can't merge into this group anyways, but that's fine for now. Alright, let's see what else is going on. Population gain. I promise, Arneb, eventually we're going to merge you. Cultural conversion started. It's a bit of a pain. Shen's culture is spreading very, very powerfully. Now, there are some good and some bad consequences of being under the effect of someone else's culture. One of the good events is an osmosis event. If generally the people there are happy and you're well settled, and we generally are, I believe. If we have a quick look, yes, we're in a pretty good state. There are two types of osmosis event that can happen. You can either gain research, or if your ideologies are quite separate from the people who have influence over your territory, then your people may demand that you enact civics which will bring you more in alignment with the influential culture. Now, that's generally not a great thing, because obviously you made the choices of your civics for a certain reason. However, it can bring you closer to the person who's influencing you, which will then mean that they're going to be less likely to go to war with you. You can refuse, but it's going to have a pretty hefty stability penalty on the territory as a consequence of it. The research bonuses are, if the opponent has research which you don't have, you can just buy the research. And if they... Or you can just choose not to buy it, but instead have a small research boost. Or if there are no available researches, then you can just simply get a big research boost. And so, osmosis events are not bad. They're actually kind of good. I really feel that getting a garrison down here would be amazing. I feel that this would be absolutely stunning to get a garrison down there. I would lose out on a potential, though, a fairly great potential of units. I could put the garrison there, I suppose, which would allow my units next to it to gain an advantage. Combat strength in combat for units in or adjacent to the district. Certainly not a bad choice. Certainly not a bad choice. Alright, I think we're in position now. I want you to engage. No. You should be able to do it. You to move down. And let's go. Right, they're not engaging, so I'm just going... Ah, damn it. I wasn't fast enough. Did I get the fight happening? No, they're on the march in this direction. Well, that's less ideal, I'm going to be honest with you. Alright, that's just a scout. That's a scout and a warrior. If I can get those two battles to happen, I win the war. I'm not going to be able to force these two battles, sadly, but you'll be at a much higher state. We're going to lock that one in as well. I would like you to just guard this area for now. Alright, let's go. Everyone, march. Okay, they bailed. You are most vexing. My lord. You cowards, come back! Okay, well, that's brought them a little bit closer to giving up, but it's not quite the massive victory I was hoping for, I'm going to be honest. Oh, well. Shen, what's up?
Friend, what can I do for you?
I'm not sure. What can you do for me? Population loss. New religion. Victory at the battle. Oh, perhaps it was just a case that you were happy? Overwhelming. We are much less powerful than them. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm a little bit concerned about that. Grievances triggered. How about we share maps?
So, tell me, shall we become closer?
This works. You have a deal.
Fantastic.
Not every day brings news like this. Let's seize the moment.
Indeed. Okay. New treaty. And that means that we're going to have found a couple of things. Lake
Did some
Hiller.
vain deity remove their makeup here?
Okay, so we just gained 30 science for that. Daintree discovered. Daintree Forest down there. Okay, well, they've got a lot of territory. And this group did actually settle down. Fitz has a lot less territory than I imagined. I was expecting that perhaps the land went in this direction. It might still, but it's quite unlikely based on the shape of this map, I feel. How are we doing over here? We're barely affecting it at all in any measurable way. So let's pop a little bit of bribery going on there. Let's at the very least make you less likely to go to war with us in any way. At this point, if I had enough, I could assimilate them. I have no interest in doing so. None. What's going on here, then? It must just be a trade route. We might be able to claim this land. I thought that was Shen basically establishing a fort, but perhaps not. Very well. There's no point. It's just wasting my resources at that point. The wisdom of others. Your merchants trek the world, reaching great markets in far climes and selling your highly prized natural riches for much coin. Conversely, your empire sees many traders from distant lands visiting our plazas with their goods, their wit, and their provocative ideas. When their knowledge contradicts the wisdom of your elders, it raises the question of who should we trust? Who has the biggest influence in your empire's knowledge? Elder wisdom. We must not forget the lesson of our own history. +1 science per researcher on city outpost, plus it brings us back into faith. Or foreign innovations. Be not too proud. Outsiders bring many truths of the world. +1 science per number of trade routes on city or outpost. Ooh. Now that... We're probably going to have a lot more trade routes than anything else. Nevertheless, I feel that we're going to honor the wisdom of our elders.
Learning
Definitely
is
a
important to know
role-play
where you're
choice.
going, but it's good to remember where you came from.
Indeed. Down to 4th. I'm quite concerned about that. Quite concerned. Right. You go ahead and skip that turn. And I think with that, let's pass the turn. Man whose population is increased. Good, good, good. And with this, I think we're ready to actually start poking out and finding what's going on around here. Yes, please. I've got a funny feeling...
I do not live for revenge, but I could die for it.
That you're not going to like what I'm bringing to your doorstep. You are going to fight. Okay, well, this is marvelous for us, then. This is absolutely marvelous for us. Okay, let's end that deployment. First, let's try and get all the way up there. Oh, they are going to let us. Well now, was not expecting that, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's move into position. How high can you get? You can get all the way up there. Can they actually attack us from there? That's a cliff. They can't attack us, and they can't... Because this battle is set up in this way, they can only move within the borders of the battlefield. So there's literally no way for them to get up to our archers other than through our warriors. Which means our archers are just going to be able to rain death down on them. Now, they got tree cover. Against archers, that's quite a potent defense. That being said, however, I'm still going to get free damage. You can be ready to attack. I would have liked it, actually, thinking about it, if I'd moved in to just stop them from getting away from my archers' attacks. Still, this will work. I think my archers will still be able to hit here. We'll see if they've got line of sight. No line of sight. That's a shame, but oh well. Still going to be worth doing. You go ahead and defend. There is no reason for me to attack here. Just let them come at me instead. Now I will attack. If my archers can't wipe them out, then I'll charge in. And with that,
No mercy.
if we get a good roll, we take them out. Okay, that was a good engagement. That was a fantastic engagement, in fact. Alright, where do we sit? They've got a single point. I need one more reaction. I just need them to try and flee, or to... where's that administrative center over here? I suspect it's here, but that is actually... no, it probably isn't. Oh, I don't believe I've ever actually seen their administrative center, so I don't know where it's positioned. Still, let's get into their territory. 2 more turns on building an emblematic building, which I'm very happy to see done. I could just push it through. Man was already back up to 3 pop. I would like a new cavalry unit. Let's buy you. Can I also get you? No, just a little bit too expensive. But that's fine. Cavalry unit will be able to join our archers shortly.
You should listen to this.
You'd like to open borders?
Yes, friend. Say what you wish. I will listen.
Well, I mean, you're very much stronger than me, which I don't like, but okay, let's
My people will profit
cement
from this proposal.
our friendship.
We accept.
Marvelous, like the first rays of daylight.
I approve. Poetry. Poetry, Shen. You know the way to my heart. Okay. You can just chill for now. This is a fairly good position for you to hold. That being said, if I were to start poking my face into their affairs, maybe it would be useful. But until I can pull more than one unit into a fight, I'm actually a little bit concerned about having you there. I feel, in a way, it's actually more of a penalty to me than not. Damn it. Oh well. Let's have you merge in that turn. Hopefully you'll head on down. Okay, move. Culture chosen. Oh, the Harappans have moved into the new culture and they've kept their present... Oh dear. Okay, what we got? That is a fight. But the Harappans are moving into the next era without changing, which is bold move. Very bold move. Can we get a sight on... okay, this may be where they're set up then. Let's march our way down on the next turn. I'm tempted to make a push. Maybe attacking from here will give me a better position, though. I feel it might. 2 warriors. If I can trap them in there... and I think this is the better way for us to go. Manual battle. There's their defensive line. I want to hold them here and get my archers up top if I can. End deployment. Right, archers all the way up. Straight away. Perfect. From here, their cavalry is not going to be able to do anything. We've got high ground, friendly unit nearby. They are defending. They're the only ones that can attack us right now, so just start laying into them. So by choosing the right area to defend from, this has become significantly easier for us. We stand to lose far less from attacking here, but we can't get a flanking attack here, sadly. Still, we are very easily winning this fight. Now, you will lose a lot of health, so I'm actually thinking you can just be a barrier for them. They can waste their turns trying to attack. They can do nothing. So. Now, let's take a moment. I asked too much. I do apologize. Let's take a moment to have a look at you. You are now much weaker than the opponents. You're wounded, and you only have a strength of 19. You've got a strength of 21, and you have a strength of 28. It's time for me to start hitting their heavy cav. Let's start to weaken them. Whilst you're just there, unable to really do anything. I'm fine with holding this battle right now. Because this gives me a little bit of time to wound them. I wanted to do damage initially, because I wanted to blunt their ability to do damage to me. But at this point, we control the battlefield. And by pressing the advantage and taking out that warrior, we'd actually weaken ourselves. Now, who's going to move up? It is the heavy cav. Okay, I knew that was going to come. That's fine for now. They've pinned this unit in place, but they did take losses doing it. And the rest of this battle is going to happen, I think, in the next turn. Yeah, okay, fair enough. 1 era star has been earned. We've managed to get a militarist era star. Fantastic. Okay, not bad at all. Alright. Is anyone else able to move? We can definitely bring you down. As long as we can win this battle, that's it. We straight up win. Or if we can get any kind of battle, if we can force our opponents to have to retreat or anything like that, then that'll be amazing for us. What have we got queued up next? A warrior. Okay, that's fine. Following that, though, let's go ahead and make use of this tile, because that's going to bring us a goodly amount of food. And this counts as a farmer's quarters, so that infrastructure building will also benefit that. Further to that, I think it's time for us to take the next turn. But looking at the time, sadly, whenever I'm about to say, it's time for us to do X, Y, or Z in the game, it causes my brain to think, oh, how long has the episode been? Oh, right, yeah, we're pushing on an hour. I was meant to have finished 15 minutes ago. I'm terribly sorry to leave you on the cliffhanger of a battle, but it is the way it's going to have to be. Hopefully, in the very early part of the next episode, we're going to be able to win this war, but if they're able to somehow turn this battle around, then the war may be prolonged. But if we can force a victory here, the war is won, and to the victor goes the spoils. But we're going to have to find out how that goes until the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you'll be joining me for the next. I hope that they will eventually start moving their armies so I can rent them, but we'll see how that one goes. But until next time, and as always, from myself and all of the Celts, do take care.